Hi chess fans, we're looking at a game between Magnus Carlsen and Vasily Ivanchuk from 2016. Magnus Carlsen is playing with white and Ivanchuk is holding a draw. Carlsen played d4 and after knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, we reached the Nimzo-Indian defense with the queen c2 variation. Now, main moves in this position are Carlsen, c5 or d5, but Vasily plays knight c6, immediately attacking the d4 pawn, taking advantage of the fact that the queen has gone away and this pawn is not protected. White can continue e3 or knight f3. Knight f3 is a bit stronger, and in this position black plays d6. So why is black playing d6 here? What are black's plans here? Well, black's plans are to exchange the bishop for the knight, play queen e7 and e5, and then have a good position in the center. Very typical plan in the Nimzo-Indian defense. Okay, the game continued bishop to d2, and now black plays a5. That's a very deep move because black could just continue with his plan. So why throw in a5 here? Okay, so there are two reasons. One reason is that immediately white has a harder time of gaining some space on the queen side with a later b4. And the second reason is that in the main variation, and we will see that later, a5 actually goes together very nice with a knight on c5. So as we will see, this knight retreats and then holds the c5 square, and a5 is very harmonious with this because it protects the b4 square, so the pawn cannot go here, which makes the knight safe here on this square. All of this happens after d5 vacates the c5 square, and then it's very typical that the knight reroutes up this route, and this is very harmonious with a5. Okay, so if you wonder why would black play a5 in this position, it's actually a relatively typical move in this type of positions. Okay, game continued a3. Carlsen is immediately asking the question to the bishop. Bishop exchanges itself, and white is arguing, okay, I don't have a pawn weakness, I got the bishop pair, I will take the center, show me what you got. So black is already in a position that is a little bit pressured. Okay, game continues, queen e7, e4, white grabs the center, e5, and now white has a choice between taking on e5 or playing d5. Now, d5 is what happened in the game, and this is the only move in that position that has ever been played by grandmasters. So why is taking here not so good? Okay, there are two reasons. One is because immediately after black retakes, white's bishops are caged in by those pawns here, and at the same time black's knights get very powerful. So this is a typical position here where it's favorable to have knights. The knights have a lot of squares that they can go to, and this position is not absolutely closed in a way that there would be no more holes for the knight. There's also a hole here where the knight can go. So this position has very nice holes for knights. At the same time, black's bishop is relatively free still, so it can develop on this diagonal, it can develop to many interesting squares, whereas really this pawn is blocking the light square bishop and this pawn is blocking the okay, so that's why it's bad in this position for white to take. So let's have a look. if white plays h3, playing against this bishop here on c8, careful, bishop e2, e6, careful. Now black, for example, can play a4 and then route the knight to this nice square here. In this position, black also has a lot of other interesting plans, like pushing this pawn. This bishop can still decide where to go. And again, white's bishops are bad. Okay, so that's why Carlsen played d5. The knight retreats. Might look bad, but the knight will come back into the game relatively quickly. And here we see how harmonious the a5 push of the pawn is against this b4 pawn push. So Carlsen immediately plays c5. So before the knight even gets there, Carlsen pushes this pawn to make sure that this pawn doesn't get a weakness, and also that this bishop has some additional squares. Okay, Ivanchuk played knight bd7, takes, and in this position, white has a nice space advantage here. This bishop is a little bit more free, and well, black still has to solve the problems in his position. This pawn might become weak, and this bishop doesn't immediately have a square. Very interesting play to immediately push the c5 pawn. Okay, in this position, Carlsen played another very interesting move, knight to d2. So in this position, you might have played the bishop anywhere and castle, and maybe you would have played the rook here, or the rook here. But Carlsen, of all the different moves, chooses knight to d2. So what's the reason behind knight to d2? Well, one is the knight gets rerouted to potentially nice squares, attacking the d. The reason is that white now has the option of playing either f3 or f4. It's a very nice move that just gives more richness to white's options. So it looks a bit more natural, like takes away the bishop, but it's actually a very strong move. Okay, after castle, there's maybe also some psychological element to this move. If you're black and your opponent plays this move, knight to d2, your opponent is basically telling you, hey, okay, show me what you got. I don't see any move that you have. Show me which move you have. Okay, so castle, bishop e2, knight to c5. Again, the knight going together well with the a5 pawn. And white plays b4, just cracking this nice structure open. And after takes, the position looks to be a little bit more comfortable for white, because okay, this bishop still has to find the square. Where is this knight going? Okay, it's now doing at least something, attacking here, but in this position here, it seems to make sense to play b4, because this position, if somebody's better here, it can only be white. Queen b3, bishop g4, now f3, bishop d7, and it almost feels like white has all the time in the world, and black has to find some plans. Okay, now the knight comes to c4, building up the pressure. Knight c7. The knight is looking for squares. After the knight is looking for some squares here. And now, very interestingly, knight to h5, eyeing the f4 square. So black is trying to take advantage of the fact that he has the knights and is looking for holes, maybe weakening white structure here a little bit. Bishop b5, castle, f5, takes. So the other interesting motive is to kind of crack open white's pawn structure a little bit to find some weaknesses, activating the knight. And the game continued. with further exchanges. Okay, and in this position, maybe one little endgame question. What is white's problem here? And what should be black's plan? Okay, white's problem is the fact that this bishop and this king lead to the tactical motive of check and winning the bishop. So white could not just go in the next move and take this pawn because of the tactical blow rook to c1. At the same time, the bishop cannot move here because the rook is controlling the square. It cannot move here, so it's a little bit caged in there. So white's rook can really activate itself only after this knight, this bishop has untangled. Okay, and what should be black's plan? Black has a little time to white's weaknesses. So one element of black's plan is to play rook c5, attacking this pawn and maybe to also capitalize on the weakness of this pawn. h5 also costs time, so white has time to untangle. So in this position here, black might get into a little bit of trouble. Sometimes difficult. Both sides have pawn weaknesses, but it looks like